Nintendo was not able to get this under control, this leak situation.
No.
Because you still hear about people who are like, oh, I'm just playing this game, or, yeah, I have this game, no big deal. It's like, it's still out there, no matter what they're doing. It still cannot be
I don't know if there's
contained.
anything you can do.
I don't either.
And in the world that we live in now,
I mean, maybe in the past it happened late enough that the game came out and people moved on.
But I think there are more and more people with the capabilities of being able to leak a game
right.
than ever before. Like, people are more savvy about how to do that than ever before. And I think it's that group is just going to keep getting bigger.
So I had a tweet last week that some people found interesting that our friend OJ Player Essence made a whole video out of.
Oh my.
Which was, I just had a moment where I thought, oh, remember the Metroid Prime trilogy? That was a game that came out of nowhere, was a complete surprise, released digital first, and physical came a couple weeks later.
Yeah.
Is that the way Nintendo is going to launch certain games where they are worried about these sorts of leaks or these sorts of information control? Obviously, not everything needs to do this, but certain things. Would they ever do this?
They're so traditional, in their way of working and their way of releasing. And I think they see huge value in the physical, especially with the fans that are buying Nintendo games physical. That's going to be a tough conversation to convince somebody to do it, I think.
Yes, I think this is a bad idea. I think this would be terrible for business. I think this would hurt the sales of these games.
It would.
And it would burn some bridges with retailers.
It would.
But I think there are certain people at Nintendo who are advocating for this.
Yeah,
because
but I think on the other side, there's certain people advocating against it.
Because to them, this is life or death.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, if they ever did something like this, we would know they're full on into just arrogant Nintendo. And
anybody will buy anything.
And I would start to get really concerned about, like, what is the Switch 2? What are they doing with the Switch 2?
All digital?
Right, based on this, it just comes under with a
all digital,
lock and key.
But we're not going to have a backwards compatibility, so you have to rebuy all your stuff again. All digital, though.
I would start to get really worried if they did this.
I hope they don't. I hope they can see beyond, leaks as this big headline and as a thing that's going to be a thorn in their side. The other thing that I think about a lot is, like, if they went down this really extreme route of going all digital and then physical later or something like that as a way to stem the leaks, I feel like it's only a matter of time before people are able to leak the digital versions. Yeah. I just don't think that you can fully say, like, I'm going to get this 100% under control forever by doing these, like, crazy things, Yeah. Sorry, but that's just not going to happen.
I just think
people are going to leak it.
we know what happens. Like, there has to be some response to this.
Yeah.
Something must be done.
Yeah, there is
for future games.
There's a lot of questions.
So what are you doing different? What process are you changing?
Yeah.
You can't just do nothing. So what do they do?
I don't know.
What do you do? That's something they could do.
Well, this is going to be a cycle for them forever then. Because you're going to just live in a world where things are going to get leaked.
Right.
And you're going to panic about it and ask about what is going to be done. And the answer is always going to be, well, these things, but that's really not addressing the problem because the problem can't be solved. So if you're going to live and die on the stuff and not focus on what you can control, what is in my favorite phrase.
Let's devil's
circle of control.
Let's devil's advocate this idea.
Yeah.
So if you did this, what are the upsides? You move people over to digital faster.
Sure.
Which has a higher profit margin for you.
Okay.
At least in the short term, again, like you were saying, what happened? You are cutting down on these leaks.
You're cutting it down.
It will cut it down.
Sure.
I just came up with 3 reasons of why this is a
That's going to be that
quote good thing to do. Again, I think this is a terrible.
Those people's argument is going to be that.
I'm just going through the thought process.
And yeah,
how this argument gets played out.
It does depend on what Switch 2 is going to do.
Yeah.
Like, what if it is like I have a PS5 that's digital only.
Right.
What if there's a digital only Switch 2? And then they're like, well, we have a console that's going to be digital only. So guess what? To cut down on these leaks, to support this console, to
Right.
move people to digital, we're going to do this.
Let me give you another devil's advocate. Or the retailers, the poor retailers. Well, the retailers can sell a POS card, point of sale card, for the same game, so that the retailers can still make their money. I just came up with 4 great points.
They used to say that was an argument for retailers. The eShop cards or whatever was like that Band-Aid for retailers for a long time. Because when we opened the eShop, our entire retail team was like, hello, what about us? We have to have these meetings with these people. Like, what are we going to do? And that was like their like brush off Band-Aid situation, which I'm sure made nobody happy. But whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's such...
Point 5.
Oh.
Hey, retailers. You're mad about this, but guess what? We have the Switch 2 coming at some point in the future.
And you're
not going to make a lot of noise about this, are you?
Oh, boy.
Are you? You're going to keep your mouth shut about this, aren't you? You're just going to take it.
Yeah, that's a very fair
I just came
argument.
up with 5 ridiculous points.
I mean, that could be happening right now as we speak.
Oh my God.
Don't give them any ideas. You know what they do? They listen to our podcast and they do it.
I'm just a devil's advocate.
Don't do it. You're giving them bad ideas.
Gotta hear both sides.
Gotta hear both sides.